So I was born and raised just outside of Washington, D.C., mere minutes from the White House and the Capitol. And as an Asian American, being born in a place that was a major city, it was easy for me to be around other people who were more like me. The thing about large cities is that because there is such diversity in that place, it's actually easier to segregate and to find your own people and your own kind. But that came to a real uneasy place for me. When I was in the fourth grade, I went down to the American History Museum and they had an exhibit on the civil rights. And to enter the exhibit, there were two doors. One said whites only and the other said color. And I looked at the two volunteers, an older African-American woman and an older white lady, and I asked, which door do I enter through? And they started having a discussion. And at the end of it, they said, we don't know. Why don't you just pick one? And I think that has become a part of my story in so many ways, to see the things that are happening in our nation, in our city, in our world, and to see it and go, well, that's a black and white issue. And for so long, that's how I lived. I lived as if my people group, my kind, my tribe, we get to sit on the sidelines and watch something else happen out there. And I didn't really interact with what I should be doing, what Jesus was calling me to. You see, sitting on the sidelines for me was really easy. I think back to Matthew 14 as the disciples are in a boat during the storm and Jesus walks out on the water towards them. And Peter has the audacity to say, Lord, if it's you, call me out into the water and call me to come to you. And Jesus says, come. And can I tell you, that boat in the midst of that storm for me was the safety of not having to engage the storm at all. It felt easy, more comfortable to just stay where I was, off to the side. When it comes to issues of justice, we can't sit on the sidelines. Here's the reality. When George Floyd was murdered, one of the police officers was an Asian American. And that hits home to me. That hits home because when it comes to injustice, it is not limited to people of one color or one race or one creed. And as an Asian American Christian and as an Asian American pastor, every part of me looks at the video and says, why are you not screaming out for our fellow brother? Justice demands that we cry out even when it is not one of our own. Because actually, everyone is one of our own because we're all made in the image of Jesus Christ. Justice screams out when injustice is taking place. Justice demands action when injustice is happening. Think how differently this could have been if our Asian American police officer had spoken up and done something proactive. The hard part is every single day I want to sit on the sidelines. I want to make this about someone else. And I want to make this as easy for me as possible. That's where I am oftentimes today. It's hard not feeling like you know exactly where you stand. But I'm choosing to stand with Jesus. I want to be where Jesus is. I want to go to where he is leading. I want to go when he says, come. And in this moment, that's what I'm trying to do. My parents recently said to me as I was talking with them on the phone, they said, John, we know all the things that are happening in St. Louis and around the country, but can you do me a favor? Can you not go and protest? Can you not go and march? Can you not go downtown? Can you not go? And I said, why? Why don't you want me to go? And they said, we want you to be safe. So much of my cultural upbringing, my family upbringing is about that. It's about being safe. But here's what I believe, or I think Peter believed, that it's safer to be out on the raging waters with Jesus than it is to be clinging to the comfort of my own boat. And so It's meant having to do hard things. I'm trying to take my kids and talk with them. And my son said to me recently, I'm overwhelmed and I'm scared because I don't know if it's safe. And what I told him is this reality: Jesus is never safe. Jesus doesn't call us to safe things, but he's worth it. And I'm trying to believe that more and more today as we go through what we're going through. If you're like me, maybe you're not white, maybe you're not black, and you tend to be on the sidelines and you're saying this is a black and white issue. Can I tell you it is not? This is a kingdom issue. May we leave the comfort of our own boats to go where Jesus is calling us to come. And if you're like me and you don't know what that looks like, let's turn to him and pray and say, Lord, fix my eyes upon you, not upon the raging waters, not upon what I can't control or see. Fix my eyes upon you. That's my prayer for us, and that's my prayer for myself.